How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to today's live stream. Today's gonna be a bit of a different one. This was a bit impromptu because I felt I needed to learn this new technology, and what better way to just decide to learn it than from doing a live stream about myself learning it just the same way I did with React Native. This is from the ground up series, and I feel like I owe like a lot to the rest of the world that has enabled me to learn these things for free. Today I am going to write my first Flutter application, and then I'm going to find ways to combine it together with Laravel. I understand writing Flutter applications is much easier than writing React Native applications. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing today. So I already have some of the installation files up and running. I have the write your first Flutter app. The first Flutter app. That's a learning page. I know I sound a bit bored today. I'm just from work and I'm just like, I can be asked. Let's just pump some little bit of psych inside it. Yo! What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Steve Nyanumba here with Tech Chess. Welcome to the stream, guys. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to those guys who are watching this as a video. Welcome to those guys who are going to join us much later. But this is for documentation purposes. I'm not feeling like I don't feel like putting this video up and recording it on the side and editing, because that's gonna take a lot of time. And all the same, I wouldn't want to, remove the parts where I run into very embarrassing errors, because I think the thing about being a complete full stack developer is that you're going to run into so many different errors because you've not mastered both sides of the trade, whether it's front end or back end. And now this is a part of the front end development space, which includes mobile development. And I'm really excited to just start this. So on the first area, we have the introduction, what we will build, part 1, and it shows that we have 38 minutes left so that we can be able to have everything set. And then so I have this already down. So the introduction about how Google's UI toolkit is going to be the one that's used to build these native applications. It's for iOS, Android, desktop, and web, etc. I've already gotten up to start setting up the Flutter environment. So it needs the Flutter SDK and an editor. So I've downloaded the Flutter SDK through this. If I hit my Control J, you'll see that this is what I downloaded. So this was the last thing I did before I started this live stream. So it's already downloaded. I already extracted it into my local disk C, into a file called Flutter, and here it is, all of it. So now we move on to the next basis, which is extracting it. Okay, we've extracted it. And then we have, okay, so this is an alternative method using the git clone function. Then we have to update our path. So updating our path needs us to go to the environment variables for my account. So in this situation, I'll just come in here and type env, and then it will go to edit the system variables, go to environment variables. And then I'm going to use this one for the system variables. So, oops, clicked on something. So And the user variables check if there's an entry called path. So user variables, this is where we're going to use it. Now go to path, and then we come in here and type in a new one, and we need to hit browse, and I'm sure it wants us to look for the bin file. So I'm going to come in here, this PC, local disk C, look for Flutter, and then look for bin, and hit OK, and that's it. So I'm pretty sure that will be fine. Alright, if the entry doesn't exist, create a new user variable named path, the full path to flutter.bin as its value. If you have to close and reopen any existing console windows, you have to close and reopen any existing console windows. So let's open git bash. So you can see where flutter dart is the first command. So where flutter dart, yeah, it's already registered. And then as shown above, the command dot from the Flutter SDK doesn't come first. Update your path to use commands from your path to Flutter SDK.bin before commands from path to .sdk.bin. Okay, so Flutter appears first, but my dot has not shown. Oh, path to .sdk. I don't know, did this... So I need the .sdk. Interesting. What? Okay. Okay, so as of Flutter's 1.19.0 dev release, the Flutter SDK contains the dot command alongside the Flutter command so that you can more easily run dot command line programs. Excellent. So if I do just dot, it works. So let me just Control C there. Okay, so it works. Terminate batch job, yes. So the dot command works. That's okay. Okay, so I don't need to have the dot SDK in here. So once it comes in, so you'll have the flutter. So these ones, and then of course there's this thing for the dot SDK, which I don't need anymore. The following command tells you whether the Flutter and dot commands originate from the same bin directory and therefore compatible. As shown above, the command dot from the Flutter SDK doesn't come first, so update your path using the commands from the path to Flutter SDK bin before the commands from path to dot SDK bin. In this case, so only in this case where the SDK don't come together, I think. Let me close this terminal first. Okay, so so I can do Flutter Doctor now, I think. So run Flutter Doctor. So Flutter Doctor. I'm gonna let that run. Running Flutter pub-get in Flutter tools. In the meantime, I think I'll need to get my cable for my phone. Should be here. Excellent. Okay. So doctor found issues in one category. The category in this situation would be Android toolchain. So developed for Android devices, Android SDK version 33.0.0. So yeah, it's commonly yes. So this is the exactly the problem that we were running. So the command checks for your environment and displays a report for the status of your Flutter installation. Check the output carefully for the other software that you may need to install for further tasks to perform, shown in bold text. So like for example, Android SDK in that situation would be missing. So over here we have CMD line tools component is missing, and then we also have Android licenses status unknown. So CMD line tools, that one will come in from Android Studio. So once Android Studio opens up, we'll come into more actions, and then we'll come to SDK manager, and then I'll come in here and type CMD line. If that shows up, CMD, nothing. So maybe search from this point onwards. So CMD line. So it's not showing from that point. Let's see. Menus and toolbars. Let's actually Google this. CMD line tools component is missing. This is it a Stack Overflow? Yes, it is. So it says the solution for me was to open Android Studio and go to SDK Manager, switch to SDK Tools tab, and check Android SDK command line tools. Yeah, that's exactly what I was aiming for, but so go to Tools, then go to what? Android Studio, go to SDK Manager, switch to the more actions, SDK Manager, switch to the Tools tab, SDK Tools, we have the 33.3. Now we need to look for the command line. Yeah, command line tools, latest. So we'll do this. We'll just do one of them, the latest one, and then apply. Then click OK. So what is it saying? It needs the estimated download size is 108.9. This one will end just now, most definitely. 108 is very, very little megabytes. So let it do its thing. I'm enjoying the jazz. Jazz is good. I think aside from that, there's also this part for the licenses. Licenses, I think there's a command that enables us to accept the licenses. So once we run the command, we run the command with the accept licenses tag, I think. Run Flutter Doctor Android licenses to accept the SDK licenses. After this downloads, we finish. Now we don't really need to run much else, so we just do this command again with Android licenses. Yes. Okay, so I don't understand. There's a bit of a problem here with our Flutter doctor. I hit Y to review the licenses that have not been accepted. 4 out of 7 licenses have been accepted, right? Let's do this. Terminate job, yes. Come on. What is going on? You mean to tell me that this... Okay, you know what? You mean to tell me that... Let's try it PowerShell. Flutter doctor. So 100 tool chains, some 100 licenses have not been accepted. Yes, there we go. You mean to tell me it's Bash that is refusing? Okay, so I'm convinced. We'll use the PowerShell terminal. No issues found, and we're good to go. So we've already installed Android Studio. We've set up the Android device. We have the Android emulators because I was developing using Android at some point. So I think we're good to go. We're very, very good to go. Now, let's try this. So I think also having an Android emulator on this would be better than using my own phone. For now, as I start building this. So instead of using my own phone, I think we are good to go with running whatever. So I think we're good. Windows setup is done. Web setup is done. Now we can close this, setting up everything, because I'm sure everything else is plug and play. So we can say create the starter Flutter app, which is Flutter create startup name. So let's just do that within our terminal over here. So I'm going to come in here, go to cd desktop. Should be capital, right? Oh, it's OneDrive, then desktop. Okay. Yeah, this is it. This is the desktop. Okay, so I'm going to do going to shift insert, and then before we do that, we'll just say starter. So we're creating the starter application now. Things are going to look good. So I can say cd starter. No, we'll do code starter. Wait, hold on. That's all we needed to do to create the application. Yo, that's actually mad. I'm gonna close this, and then I'm going to come in here and run this. I'm going to use the terminal here this time. Wait, hold on. Then what? Hold on. Then Flutter, was it Flutter run or something? think it was Flutter run. I saw Flutter run somewhere. Flutter run. Please choose one to quit. Press Q. I can run this application on Chrome, Edge, and Windows. Okay, Q. Now there was something else about setting up my AVD for VS Code to use. Let's actually look it up. I saw it here somewhere. Set up an editor, install VS Code, install the Flutter and Dot plugins, validate your setup with Flutter Doctor. Okay, so we're going to go back and install the plugins for Flutter and Dot. So there's Flutter, then there's some Flutter widget snippets. I think I'll use this also, and then I think the same creators, I can look up their stuff. Yes, and there's Dot as well, and then there's Flutter local device exposer. Interesting. I like this. So connects all to local devices used during Flutter development when using VS Code remote over SSH. This is insane. The extension is only relevant for relevant. What am I saying? Relevant for, what is it saying? Relevant for developing Flutter Bazel project with a remote machine. That's okay. That's fine. Okay, so I think that's good. I think we are ready. So now I think we can even look for the AVD. We can even create an Android emulator. I have the RAM to do this. We can do a cold boot for Pixel 3. Pixel 6, we have it also. Let's create an Android emulator. Once we create one, we'll create a lighter one. No suitable Android AVD system images are available. That's not a problem. I think we'll just start resizable experiment. No, let's use the Pixel 3a. Let it launch. So cold boot, different AVD configuration. That is okay. Let it come on. I've not clicked on this yet. Yeah, it's come on. Let's go. Woohoo. Looks like it's up and running. Let's just do the Flutter run just while as it's coming to life. Looks like it's launching it. It's assembling it. Let's see the apps that are installed. Okay, I think we're good. So now once it builds, it will show up over here as the last application, which is good. My encoder is overloaded. I wonder why. The thing is that we're not dropping frames. We've not dropped a single frame yet, and this has been live for 30 minutes. Not a single frame. Feels good. Let's see how the RAM is utilized here. First of all, let me close this. You see the processes for the system. What? No way. For a brief instant, this was consuming more RAM, more CPU power than OBS itself. Interesting. Okay, now let's look at RAM. Visual Studio Code is the one that's consuming the most, followed by the emulator. This is very interesting. 100% of my CPU is being used. This is a very unusual scenario. It's very rare for my CPU to be 100% utilized, because it's an 8-core 16-thread CPU, goes up till, well, I'm getting a new laptop which will have more cores. It will have 12 cores and 16 threads. But as it stands, this computer shouldn't be like overly used like this, because if we look at the CPU details and all, let's actually go back to performance. Yeah, you see the CPU has 8 cores, 16 threads, and goes up to a base speed of 2.6 gigahertz. I don't know how much the i5-12500H will be going. So the base clock will be, so this is for laptops. Yeah, it's a processor number. It was launched in Q1 of 2022. 12 cores. So these are 8 efficient cores, 4 performance cores, and 16 threads. Then it has, what the hell? Yo, this is actually insane. Max memory dependent, the memory type is 64 gigs. So you can use DDR5, DDR4, LPDDR5, LPDDR4, etc, etc. That's insane. Okay, back to the code. Are you building or are you building? Like, can you, It's taking a lot of time. In the meantime, let's actually just look at what it was that we were supposed to build. So we've created this. we'll mostly edit the lib main dot dot. Yeah. Then we're supposed to replace the contents of the okay. What have I done? That just did something. Okay, so then we're supposed to replace the contents of the lib dot dot. We're supposed to delete all the code and then start it like this. So this class is the one that runs the main application, and then outside it we can oh yeah, no, this is the one that runs it. This is the one that contains all the layout. And then what else? When pasting code into your app, indentation can become skewed. You can fix it with the following Flutter tools. So there's the right for Visual Studio, you right click and select format document. In this situation, I think it's Shift F for me for my PC. Then on Windows and iOS, it will pop up like this. Okay. So there's a home, there's an app bar, there's a title, there's a body with the hello world, which is in the middle, and it's centered. But where is this const center coming from? Is it an imported from the material? Who knows? Anyway. So observations. This example creates a Material app. Material is a visual design language that is standard on mobile and the web, and Flutter offers a rich set of Material widgets, and the app extends stateless widget, which makes the app itself a widget. In Flutter, almost everything is a widget, including alignment, padding, and layout. The scaffold widget from the Material library provides a default app bar, a title, and the body property that holds the widget tree from the home screen. The widget subtree can be quite complex. The widget's main job is to provide a build method that describes how to display the widget in terms of other lower level widgets. So it's a widget and a widget and a widget and a widget. Pretty much more like React Native almost. It's just this is using widgets in the name of classes and stuff, from what I've seen here. Then the body for this example consists of a center widget containing a text child widget. The center widget aligns its widget subtree to the center of the screen. Yeah, so the center comes with material, with the Flutter material. Okay, so let's wait for this thing to build. I don't know when it's going to finish building. You can see ADB exited with exit code 1. What? Let's run it again. How are you failing on me? This assemble debug shouldn't be running again like this, because essentially this should be over. Okay, it's done. So installing, so ADB exited colon, so performing streamed install, failed to install, exception occurred when executing install, Android OS, what. Let's try it on a Pixel 6. Close this one. Okay, so this one has started where we left off with the React Native application. Let's try it again. Okay. Installing. Okay. Okay. let's run. But this Pixel 6 is very glitchy. That's a problem. It's so glitchy. I think that's why I should have just done with the Pixel 5 or something. The Pixel 6 is usually so glitchy. Let's close it. You know what? Yeah, it's time. Let me use my personal device. I'll use my personal device. I will connect it using Visor. Then I'll hit play to view the device. Close this. Reload. Okay, so it's ready. This is my actual phone. Let's do the Flutter run again. Then we see what goes on. It should have been finished. This. Oh. Okay, installing is a different scenario, right? Boom. It works. Okay. So that works. I'm going to just put this to the side like this. Open this to the side. Then move it like that. There we go. So we're going to code it like this. Now there's a part of this first piece of code that said we need to replace the entire piece of code from the starter. So I'm going to go to, it's supposed to be in what? Lib main. So I'm going to replace everything like so. There should be hot reload. Yeah, there's hot reload, so you can see the hello world is there. Okay, so we now move to the next, now that we know that that works. So it says use an external package. This is the second one. So in this step, you'll start using an open source package named English Words, which contains a few thousand of the most used English words plus some utility functions. You can find the English Words package as well as many other open source packages at pub.dev. So pub.dev is another package that we need to look up. Right. So pub.dev is the package manager of Flutter. Looks like every single language has pub.dev. English. Let's do this. English words. So English words, here it is. So this is how we're going to write it. So Flutter pub add English words. So that's the first thing we do. So I'm going to open another terminal. Then I'm going to say Flutter pub add English words. I think also this one I'll minimize it to the same size as our friend here. There we go. Just minimize it to the same size. Okay, let's see what happens here. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so going back to this, so this has already installed most likely. Yeah. Then we move on to import package. So this in the lib main.dot. So we come in here and say import, then we come and look at package, then we look for English words, like so. We're going to close it off with a semicolon. This one has to come before material, from what I see. English words.dot. As you type, the Android Studio gives you suggestions for libraries to import. It then renders the import saying, it renders the import string in gray, letting you know that the imported library is unused so far. Next, you'll use the English words package to generate the text instead of using hello world. So we'll come into that part where it's written hello world and replace it with text word pair as Pascal case. So let's say word pair as, is it word pair or word case? Word pair as Pascal case. How did they import this? Child is text, word pair as Pascal case. Oh, drop the const, yeah? Yeah, that's exactly what I was supposed to do. So I think word pair random, that's okay. But really, like, oh, so final word pair is equal to word pair random. Okay, so this is what we should have added on top of, just underneath the widget. So inside widget build, before you hit the return, you can declare your certain words, and then down here you do word pair as Pascal case, and then I can come in here, go to this bash, do R again, and then you can see log slice, and this is another one. I can do R again, sound play, R again, weird noon. It does all these things, yeah. So I guess randomizing these words is okay. So those words are okay. I think now we know how to use those packages. Right, then the next thing is adding a stateful widget. So stateless widgets are immutable, meaning that their properties can't change and all values are final. Those are stateless widgets. Stateful widgets maintain state that might change during the lifetime of the widget. Implementing a stateful widget requires at least two classes. A stateful widget that creates an instance of a state class. The stateful widget object is itself immutable and can be thrown away and regenerated, but the state object persists over a lifetime of the widget. In this step, you will add a stateful widget, random words, which creates its state class, random word state. You'll then use random words as a child inside the existing app, my app stateless widget. So these are my app stateless widget, so which is here, my app. it is it's a stateless widget. So we can use stateful widgets inside stateless widgets. Wait, hold on. Oh, I think I get it. I think I get it now. So let's start it with this. There's a class random words extends stateful widget. So we'll start with the class before here. So class random words extends stateful widget, and then we start. So create a boilerplate code for stateful widget. You can go anywhere in the file outside of my app, but the solution places it at the bottom of the file in libmain.position, or in the libmain.position your cursor after all of the code. Enter return a couple of times to start on a fresh line. Oh, okay. In your IDE, start typing stateful, STFUL. The editor asks if you want to create a stateful widget. Press return to accept. Return is the enter button, right? The boilerplate code for two classes appears, and the cursor is positioned for you to enter the name of your stateful widget. Oh, okay. So let's try that now. At the very end, the very bottom. So STFUL. Then the name of the widget is random words. That's cool. That's really cool. So as you can see, the code below the random words widget does little else besides creating its state class. Once you've entered the random words as the name of the stateful widget, the IDE automatically updates the accompanying state class, naming it random word state. By default, the name of the state class is prefixed with an underscore. Prefixing an identifier with an underscore enforces privacy in the dot language. Interesting. Enforces privacy in the dot language and is a recommended best practice for state objects. The IDE also automatically updates the state class to extend state random words, indicating that you're using generic state class specialized for use with random words. So most of the app's logic resides here. It maintains the state for the random words widget, and this class saves the list of the generated word pairs, which grows infinitely as the user scrolls. And in part 2 of this lab, favorites word pairs as the user adds or removes. I'm not picking this today, not now. Okay, you know what? I guess so. Great, I think I have everything sorted now. I don't like the way YouTube, when people come in and post, you know, pornographic material on YouTube. Why are you doing that? Why are you coming to promote porn on YouTube? Stop. It's dumb. Okay, great. So let's return to this. So we're talking about how most of the app's logic resides in the random words. It maintains the state for the random words widget. Oh, wait, the state, this one. It maintains the state for the random words widget. The class saves the list of generated word pairs, which grows infinitely as the user scrolls. And in part 2 of this lab, favorites word pairs as the user adds or removes them from the list by toggling the heart icon. Interesting. So we have this part over here. So both classes now look as follows. Let's just go back to the code and see the similarities. So over here we're creating the state random word state, random word super key, and then we have the widget returning a container. So update the build method in random word state and replace the return container with the following 2 lines. So instead of the return container, we can do this. Right, and then we can come and remove the word generation code from my app by making the following changes. So we have the my app over here. We have this part for the random words. So as the child, we can put in random words over here. But then random words has been declared elsewhere, right? Is it? Yeah, it has not. So it says remove the word generation code from my app by making the following changes. So I think we'll remove this word pair random. And then we'll say, so the random words has been added, which is extending this one. This should work. Okay, and then this const has come back. Okay. So hot reload the app, let's see what happens. Let's run it. Let's run it again. Okay. Great. So did this app get to run? No. Still installing. It closed the starter. I mean, what? Run? Do something? Running with sound level safety, yeah? Okay. Oh, it's running. Oh, I opened it and it just came back. Okay, that's something nice. That's nice. Okay, this is filled in the screen visually. Now let's move on. Let's see what happens next. So coming back to this, writing the first Flutter app, we move on to the next one. So create an infinite scrolling list view. This is very important for this app. In this step, you'll expand random word state to generate and display a list of word pairings, and as the user scrolls, the list grows infinitely. The builder factory constructor list view allows you to... What the hell are we doing this? Why is my phone just exposing me like this? Anyway, so next we'll update the build method of the random word state class. Let's go back to there. We see what was being given in the random word state class. This one. So instead of returning one text, we could return a list view or whatever, I think. So the list view class provides a builder property item builder. That's a factory builder and a callback function specified as an anonymous function. Two parameters are passed into the function: the build context and the row index. The index begins at 0 and increments each time the function is called, so once every suggested word pairing. This model allows the suggestion list to continue growing as the user scrolls. So update the build method for random word states, change it to build suggestions. Change it to use build suggestions rather than directly calling the word generation library. So let's look at how it's done. So we go to return list view builder. So instead of doing this, we'll do return list view. So dot builder, and then we do, so we open this inside here. We start with padding, does edge inserts all, so padding, I can do a value number. Okay, this one is using 16. I want to do 10.0. Let's do a hot reload on that. I know it will throw an error. Yeah, it will definitely throw an error. Then item builder. So it has an item builder property. So the item builder passes in a context. So the context and I is the row. And then over here we can come in here and say if I is odd, return const divider. So if I, there's a function for is odd. Nice. All right. Then we'll say return const divider, return. So if the number is odd, return the divider. If it's even, return the row itself. Okay, the text and all that. So final index I. What is this? What is this? I don't know what this is. What is this? Truncating division operator. Performs truncating division of this number. Oh yeah, so it divides and then truncates the decimals, right? So where the fractional result is converted to an integer by rounding towards 0, not towards 1. Okay. So if both okay, never mind. That's a good operator to have. If index is greater than or equal to suggestions length. So where are we using these suggestions? Again, change it to use build suggestions rather than directly calling the word library generator. Okay, suggestions. Where did we use suggestions? Oh, so the state. So this is part over here for the suggestions, and there's a bigger font. So final suggestions is using the word pair key. So it says in this step you'll expand random word state to generate. So I think I must have skipped this. To generate and display a list of word pairings, as the user scrolls, the list displayed in a list view widget grows infinitely. Have I read that right? In this step you'll expand random word state to generate and display a list of word pairings. As the user scrolls, the list displayed in a list view widget grows infinitely. The builder factory constructor in list view allows you to lazily build a list view on demand. As some state variables to the random word state class. Add some state variables to the same. Yeah, so these ones. Add a suggestions list for saving suggested word pairings. Also add a bigger font variable for making the font size larger. Okay, let's move faster. It was inside class random word state and then extends. Yeah, so before we go anywhere else, Then we move on forward and say if index is greater than or equal to suggestions length. Then what do we do if that's the case? We have to take only 10. Suggestions add all and then generate word pairs take 10. Then from that point onwards we have to return the list style at this stage over here. So return list style. So what does the list style take? It takes a title. So the title in this situation will be a text having the suggestions index in Pascal case. Then we have the style. Style will be bigger font. That's okay. Okay, that makes a lot of sense and why it is being forwarded to us like that. Now we can format it and we can the item builder callback is called once per suggested word pairing and places each suggestion into a list style row. For even rows, the function adds a list style row for the word pairing. For odd rows, the function adds a divider widget to visually separate the entries. Note that the divider may be difficult to see on smaller devices. Okay. So note the syntax I truncate divide by 2 divides I by 2 and returns an integer result. For example, the list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 becomes 0, 1, 1, 2, 2. Okay, that makes sense because that's 0, 1, 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2. But it rounds towards 0. So is it going to round it off towards the high and the number that is closest? Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Because 0, 0.5, right? So this is 0.5. No, 1, 0.5, yeah? So 0.5, 1. 1.5 goes back to 1. 2. 2.5 goes back to 2. That's okay. So update the build method for my app, changing the title in 2 places. To update the build method for my app, changing the title in 2 places. So the title here will be, first of all, we have the startup name generator for the app bar. Over here it will go on and become random words. Then also over here will be startup name generator, which is going to be here. So welcome to Flutter, welcome to Flutter. So this will be name generator. And I'm going to copy this and paste it here. That's okay. So now let's see what happens if we do hot reload. Boom. So it's going to do an endless scrolling of names. Very, very much an endless cycle. So it's like going to loop endlessly until like that's very interesting. Let's see how it appears on this. So you can see this one is size 10, this one is size 18, I think. So if I did 18 or 16, I think 16 was the one. It becomes bigger, becomes thicker. So I can even do like say 6 maybe, and it will appear better. This is where we began from. So it goes continuously, generating a new, generating continuously as we continue scrolling, which is very interesting. So bigger font, I think a bigger font will change. We'll use font size. Let's try use font size 12 for today. We see what happens. Did you perform a hot reload, really? Let's do font size 6 then. We see what happens here. Nothing. Control hot restart. Let's do it. Yeah, hot restart works. You can see font size 6 is working. Let's do 12. 6 looks silly. There we go. And then also the edge inserts. The edge inserts, I think I'll do like 4. So hot reload doesn't change these names, but hot restart does, because it's going to generate another random set of words. So the state usually remains, which is very interesting to see, and I like it. I like it a lot. Great. I'm progressing very well. Progressing very, very well. So the next steps. Congratulations. You've completed part 1 of this code lab. If you'd like to extend this app, proceed to part 2, where you modify the app as follows. Wow, this is insane. Yay. Okay, I can add these badges. This one, I'll put this here, I'll put this here. Refreshes. Maybe the UI didn't snap into place in good time. Yeah, there we go. Oh, let me change something here. Client to specify. What the hell are they making me to do? Okay. Okay, so other steps. Learn more about Flutter SDK with the following resources. So there's a layouts in Flutter, add interactivity, introduction to widgets, Flutter for Android developers, Flutter for React Native developers, Flutter for web developers, Flutter YouTube channel. I think this one for Flutter for web developers is what I'll be getting into heavily, because I want to use web APIs to be able to bring things forward. So let's just begin with layouts in Flutter. But before we go there, let's proceed to part 2. Actually, you know, let's not take any chances. Let's just proceed to part 2. What we will learn in part 2: how to write a Flutter app that looks natural on iOS, Android, Windows, Linux, macOS, and the web, and how to use hot reload for quicker development cycle, how to add interactivity to a stateful widget, and how to create and navigate to a second screen, how to change the look of an app using themes. What we will build in part 2. Nice. Okay. So we have 9 steps, right? So step 2, already started, already did this. Add icons to the list, right? Add icons to the list. In this step, you'll add hurt icons to each row. In the next step, you'll make them tappable and save favorites. So wait, get the starting up. Okay, that was okay. Add icons to the list. In this step, you'll add hurt icons to each row. In the next step, you'll make them tappable and save the favorites. Add a saved set to random word state. This set stores the word pairings that wait, hold on, this Premier League? Ooh. Okay, Brighton, Nottingham, Chelsea, Brentford is tomorrow. This one, it looks interesting. This one also is interesting. Tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow is when the big games, the big teams come out to play. Man United, Tottenham is a big game. Liverpool, West Ham also is a big game. Nonetheless, let's continue. So adding icons. So we can put saved in random word state. Saved. So we come in here and then say final saved is equal to what are we using it? It's a word pair, right? A word pair object. We'll save it like that. We move on forward and remove these commenting icons. Alright, so in the build function, add an already saved check to ensure that the word pairing has not already been added to the favorites. If index is greater than or equal to suggestions length, what. So here it is. Final already saved is equal to saved contains suggestions index. Okay. Final already saved. So saved, I'll take saved dot contains. Then I'll check if it has the suggestion index. Right? Yeah. Makes sense. In the list style construction, you'll add the heart-shaped icons to the list style objects to enable favoriting. In the next step, you'll add the ability to interact with the heart icons. Okay. So in the trailing bit of these the tile, the trailing, we'll have an icon. So we'll check if the already saved is true or false. If it's true, use the icon's favorite. If not, put icon's favorite border. So there we go. Alright, so now we move to the color. So color for already saved, it should be red. And there's a semantic label as well. Okay, so let's try this hot reload. So we can't interact with it yet. So if your app isn't running correctly, you can use the code at the following link to get back on track. No, we're good. What's the next? Add interactivity. Add on tap to the build method as shown below. So on tap on the trailing. Really? On tap on the entire list tile. Okay. Now this feels like Vue.js now, because this on top method on top set state if already removed, right? If already saved, then we're tapping to remove. Yeah. Then if you've not saved it, then you're tapping to save, which means you add the suggestions index and then you move on forward. So if I come in here and just hit a hot reload at this point, look what happens. Oops. Then I can do hot restart. Let's see what happens there. So hot restart, hot reload, just reload the entire app. There we go. So the state is saved, which is beautiful, which is very, very beautiful. So this is just an in-app static interaction, really. But it gives me the Vue.js vibes, to be honest. Feels like a lot of Vue.js over here. Okay. Navigate to a new screen. Okay, so the new screen. In this step, you will add a new page called a route in Flutter that displays the favorites. You'll learn how to navigate between the home route and the new route. In Flutter, the navigator manages a stack containing the app routes. Pushing a route onto the navigator's stack Pushing a route onto the navigator's stack updates the display to that route. Popping a route from the navigator's stack returns a display to the previous route. Next, you'll add a list icon to the app bar and the build method for the random word state. When the user clicks the list icon, a new route that contains the saved favorites is pushed to the navigator displaying the icon. Remove the scaffold from the app, the My App widget. Remove the scaffold from the My App widget. So here it is. We can remove the scaffold. To return const material app, title, startup name generator, and all that. The scaffold is going to reappear in the random word state. This will enable you to add an icon button to the scaffold app bar. Okay. So okay. I'm going to come in here inside the widget build. This is the widget build for which one? The My App, yeah? So I'm going to remove the scaffold for the app bar. Which includes this entire thing, this entire code. So return const material app. There we go. The scaffold is going to reappear in the random word state. This will enable you to add an icon button to the scaffold app bar that interacts with the state of the application. Wrap the list view bundler with the scaffold from My App and add an icon button to the app bar's actions parameter in the build method of the random word state class. So we have to put an app bar inside the build area. So list view builder is supposed to be the body, and then there's a scaffold. So it's supposed to be within the scaffold. So whatever it is that we've built inside the random word state is going to be taken out. Interesting. And then we're going to say scaffold. And then we have the app bar. And then we have the body. The body is that list view. Right? Right. Then so now we come to this situation for the app bar. We come to the situation for the app bar again, which is app bar. Then we have the title. Our title will be what? And then we have actions. Inside actions we have the icon button. So on pressed, push saved. The icon will be icons.list or const icon. Yeah. This push saved has not been declared yet. I think we need to also add that somewhere. But oh yeah, add a push saved function which now does something to the state. Alright, so push saved and then tooltip saved suggestions. I'm going to press enter on this, then press enter on this, and comma, press enter on this, and then we say, what are we going to say? We're going to say tooltip. Saved suggestions. Great. Let's play with it. Let's play with it. Come on. Let's play a little bit more. Okay, so add a push saved function to the random word state class. This is the random word state class. Before override, we're going to do a void. And then I'm going to say underscore push saved. Which then does what? Could be that inside, when you press push saved, it comes and changes the state inside not saved. Inside saved, it removes where suggestions index is and stuff. But let's see. So how to load the app? The list icon appears at the bar. Tapping it does nothing yet because the push save function is empty. Next, you'll build a route and push it to the navigator stack. The action changes the screen to display the new route. The content for the new page is built in material page routes builder property in an anonymous function. So call the navigator push as shown below, which pushes the route to the navigator stack, and the IDE will complain about invalid code, but you'll fix that in the next section. Excellent. As a quick aside, you may be wondering what the context argument of the navigator of call is, and we just happen to have a quick video explaining what the build context is. We will watch this in a few. First of all, let's put this inside our push saved, and I'm going to save that. I feel like there's a bit of, so add a push save function to the random word state class. Void push saved. I feel like this is not the right place to have this. So maybe inside the build. No, it's not. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's what we're going to do. We're just going to put a void push saved there. And just leave it as is. This one for the icons list, save it like that. Save suggestions, save it like this. There's no need for a comma here. There we go. When formulated that icon button, and everything seems to be just fine. Okay, so now we do a hot reload and we can see nothing. Hot restart and we see nothing. So try again after above errors. Yeah, hot restart has worked. And that works great. What a distance we've covered with learning this beautiful language. This is better than React Native. Like, it's just much better. React Native is dead. It is dead. This app is so smooth. Yeah, React Native is dead. Much dead. Okay, now we move on to the next. Navigate a new screen. So the navigator of is the context is going to be described to me or to us. But although you guys can't hear it. Ooh. Makes sense. Generally, context is just the thing that allows us to pretty much know where the widget is, or yeah, that's it. That's actually it. Yeah. So next you'll add the material page route and its builder. For now, add the code that generates the list tile rows, and the divide tiles method of list tile adds horizontal spacing between each list tile. The divide variable holds the final rows converted to a list by the convenience function to list. Add the code as shown in the following code snippet. All right. Okay, you know what? Let's do this. I'm just going to drag this all in, and then I'm going to study it from there. Boom. Okay. So navigator of context push. So material page route takes the context. So the tiles is equal to saved map pair return list tile text pair as Pascal case style big font. So the pair, now this pair, where does it come from? If it's going to be pushed in, what? Okay, let's try this. I've just copy pasted. I don't think I can even understood what these things are. I don't understand. I don't think I've understood even what these lines represent. Let's go back. The builder property returns a scaffold containing the app bar for a new route named Save Suggestions. The body of the new route consists of a list view containing the list style rows. Each row is separated by the divider. Or to load the app, favorite some of the selections and tap on the list icon in the app bar. The new route appears containing the favorites. Note that the indicator adds a back button to the app bar. What? Wait, hold on. I forgot about what? Okay, hold up. Wait a minute. Okay, so once we built the scaffold, we didn't put any back button. Why did this thing return? Oh, navigator. Navigator has it. Just does. Let's just move on to the next one. Change the UI using themes. Okay. So there's a part for the material app where you can change the theme data. So change the color in my app class. Okay, so then let's go. Let's do it. So I'm just going to close this for now. I'm going to go to my app and then I'm going to say theme, and then I am going to open my app. Then I'm going to say app. Okay, let's go back. Theme data, yeah. So we're going to open up this Pandora's box right now, and then we start with the app bar theme, and then we're going to say what app bar theme. Background color. From ARGB, from Alpha Blend, from LERP. No. Let's see, colors. We can do colors dot white. We can do colors white. Then we move on to the next one, which will be foreground, which will be black. Over here, home constant and words. So this one is not constant. The random words is constant though, so that's why. Okay, let's try it. Let's do it. Let's do it. If I come into the terminal, hit R. Boom. Looks good. Looks really, really good. Okay, so as an exercise, use theme data to change other aspects of the UI. The colors class in the material library provides many color constants that you can play with. Hot Reload makes experimenting with the UI quick and easy. True that. True that. Okay, so next, congratulatory. You wrote an interactive Flutter app that runs on iOS, Android, Windows, Linux, macOS, and web by doing the following: writing Dart code, using Hot Reload for faster development lifecycle, implementing a stateful widget, adding interactivity to your app, and creating a route and adding logic for moving between the home route and the new route. Learning about changing the look of your app's UI themes, and we hit next, and we are told, now that you've written your first app, dive deeper into Flutter by creating a simple chat application in our Take Your Flutter app to from boring to beautiful code lab. Yeah, I think at this point, I would really love to end the stream there. But let's just open this and then we see what happens next. So let's look at what we're going to have in the application. Oh, wow. This is what we're building, people. This is what we're building. Perfection. Ah, goddamn. I feel good. I feel accomplished. This is good. This feels good. This looks extremely good. Great. So I think I'll end it there. I'll stop the stream right there. So guys, we'll continue with this learning Flutter. Should we end it here? No. Should we? Yeah, I think it's safe. It's a safe bet to end it here right now. So ladies and gentlemen, that is the start of how to learn Flutter through the documentation. I've done it. I've done a very good chat app, and I've understood like 70 to 80% of what was being described to me. So I'm feeling good about it. Feeling very, very good about it. Alright, so on to the next one. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you guys in the next one. Tomorrow we are going to come as early as possible to be able to stream this again. So yeah, my conclusion, Flutter is just mad. It's actually impressive how this application just came to life so quickly, and in under 2 hours I was able to accomplish 2 labs, and that's I'm happy. I'm really, really, really happy. So that all in all, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care and God bless.